What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining us right here on Outside the Brand. This is episode 232, your AEW Dynamite post-show review for August 17th, 2022. I'm your host, Phil, and of course, this is Outside the Brand. Thank you so much for joining us on your Wednesday nights, wherever you may be. Well, tonight was presented by House of the Dragon, a Game of Thrones special that's going to be coming to HBO Max. The whole big thing tonight was the Dragon, Bryan Danielson, versus the Dragon Slayer and Daniel Garcia, the best 2 out of 3 falls match. And obviously, tonight, our main event, the Trios Tag Team Championship Tournament, kicked off tonight as Roosh, Dragon Lee, and Andrade El Idolo took on the Young Bucks and a mystery opponent at the time, which was then revealed to be the returning Kenny Omega. There weren't that many matches on the show, but the matches that did take place tonight were plentiful. They had great action tonight throughout the entire show. And let's not forget that entire first thing that we saw on the show tonight, CM Punk addressing the AEW fans, pretty much proclaiming that he will be facing Jon Moxley at AEW All Out for at first we thought it was going to be at All Out for the unification of both world championships, but as we learned later on in the night, that match is actually going to take place next week. Jon Moxley, CM Punk, to unify both the AEW World Championships. Everything about tonight's show was phenomenal. From top to bottom, we saw fantastic wrestling. The promos were great. And the return of Kenny Omega. When Tony Khan is on, he's on. And you better watch out.
Yeah, I mean, I came into this show with low expectations, but I came in only expecting to watch Brian and Daniel, and their match was great, but I ended up watching damn near the whole show, and I was very confused at some point. Why are they doing the Punk and Moxie match next week?
I'm very confused on that too, honestly, because I thought you would rather want to save that for a big stage like All Out.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Something smells like MJF over here.
Oh God.
I don't know why, but that's the only person that I can think of as to the reason why this match is pushed to next week. Do we get MJF possibly?
Huh?
Do we get MJF possibly for All Out?
I hope to God not. I really hope not. That would ruin everything.
That's the only thing that I can think of, honestly.
Their whole fight night was the best part about the show, though. To me, at least.
What was that?
Their whole ongoing fight tonight was the best part of the show. I didn't like the promo in the beginning.
Really?
I don't like when they just hit you over the head with he used to be in WWE, guys. Like, bro, we know. Okay, I know. It's just.
Well, you knew that had to have been brought up, though.
Yeah, but it's overkill to me. I don't like when CM Punk cuts those promos. CM Punk is so much better than that. I hate when he does that. He doesn't have to hit you with 15 Shield jokes and John Cena and Kofi Kingston jokes for you to get a promo across. He's much better than that. I
had to bring it up. I understand where you're coming from, but they had to bring it up.
How many times did they bring it up? Like, how many times? If you watch that promo back, count how many times they referenced WWE. Just count it. I mean, you may not care. I care. So I mean, it's just, I don't know. I feel like he's better than that. Mox made it better though. Mox came in there. He actually
Mox killed it tonight. Mox was this match. this match next week, I really wish it was All Out, because honestly, to me, this could be like one of the biggest matches in all of AEW's history, if not the, considering the two caliber of superstars that we have here tonight. I know Punk is not, in his peak. I get that, and people are going to be coming at my neck for that, calling it like one of the biggest matches in AEW history. I get that, but it's an opinion here, and we're allowed to share our opinions on the show. With that being said, Punk and Moxley, they're going to kill it. There's no way that this match can't be good. Now, I don't want to overhype this and have it look like shit, but when you have a guy, a caliber of Moxley, who's a workaholic, and we all know how much he loves to work, versus a guy in CM Punk that, for as much as people just don't like him, and I know people just don't like him for whatever reason, and you can hate him for leaving the business for 7 years, for leaving WWE in the wrong way possible, even though that didn't really technically happen. He got fired on his wedding day, but I digress. You can hate him for however you want, but to me, Punk knows that this match has to be in the utmost respect, especially for the AEW World Championship being unified and on the line here. He's not going to take this shit lightly. He can't. There's too much writing on this.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to be very angry.
Well, you better prepare yourself for that, because I think that's going to happen. There's no reason.
It disassociates me so much. I don't want it to be, but it disassociates me so much.
What's wrong with CM Punk to the rest of the community? And I'm not just saying you. I'm saying to the rest of the community, because I don't understand what the fuck the problem is.
I think you either like him or you don't, and you really like him or you just really don't like him, and what
No,
side
but what's the reason why you don't like him?
Me?
Is it not you you as a whole, like, general sense? Because I understand that he left the company in the wrong way. I understand he left the business for 7 years.
It's definitely not that he didn't leave. He got fired. We know that,
Right, but people think I don't want to get worked up. People had this narrative about him, and it's not true.
That's the thing. You're never going to change that, so you just got to take that for what it is, honestly.
I know, and I'm trying, but there's just so unnecessary hate.
You're not.
I don't get it. But
my thing is, I never saw the reason for my issue with him is more an AEW issue, because I don't like how he was brought in and then just put the world title that fast. I don't like that. And Mox held it down for as long as Punk has been injured. I think you give that to Mox. I don't think you just throw Mox to the side just because Punk is back. That doesn't sit right with me. MJF or not. I hope not, but I don't think you throw Mox to the side like that. I don't think you. The promo told me. The promo told me everything I need to know, because when everything that Mox said was the most accurate things I could ever think about Punk ever. And when Mox said he was the heart and soul, and then CM Punk said he was the dollars and cents, I'm like, and that's why. That's it right there. It goes back to the freaking who's a draw thing. I know, as much as I don't have the highest regard for Moxley, I do have a respect for him for how long he held down AEW before Punk got there. And after.
And here's the thing, I 100% agree with you on that. I do. I think Moxley has done an admirable, not even just admirable, an incredible job as the interim champion. But there is no way in hell that I'm going to try to believe that Punk wins the championship, gets injured, and then just loses without even having a chance with the world title. He never even had a chance to be a part of, like, to be a champion because he got hurt. So you just don't want him to have it?
But what does Moxley do?
He worked his ass off.
And what does he get for that? An interim championship run? I understand you. I'm not saying that to go against your viewpoint. I'm saying there's
and here's the thing. I get it. I do. I get the reasonings why people want Moxley to beat Punk. But I also get the reasonings as to why people want Punk to actually have a world championship run. This is going to be a very interesting main event next week. And whatever way happens, people are going to be pissed.
That you know, and this is a Tony Khan issue. The interim champion, he shouldn't have done that.
I hate the interim championship stuff. I do. But
that's how you solve all of this. Just have CM Punk stay champion, injured or not, or strip him of the championship. Don't make an interim, because now you come like this. You have someone who held it down all this time, and they get thrown to the side.
Yeah, but okay. So if you strip him of the championship, when he comes back, I'm gonna give him one of the first at least chances to try to get that title back.
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah.
I would. Like just because you got injured doesn't mean like, oh yeah, you won the championship, and now that you're injured, you're at least gonna have some kind of compensation to try to get that title back.
That makes sense. Like if you go that way, that makes sense. But the fact that he didn't go that way, that scenario you just laid out is not reality. What reality is, there's two world champions, and it wasn't like a unified championship thing. There's an interim one. And like Mox said, every time they said the word interim to him, he thought of CM Punk. And Mox is out here bleeding every night just for CM Punk to come back and beat him? No. I'm not saying CM Punk never get a world title shot again, but to throw Mox back into a mid-card or upper mid-card section just for CM Punk to give his championship back, no.
Here's what I was originally thinking, because when the Trios Championship came about, I thought, well, and this is before, obviously, when like an interim champion was crowned and everything like that. I thought the Blackpool Combat Club were going to be tailor-made for those Trios Championships. And then all of a sudden, when we had the championship be introduced as the interim world champion, and it being Jon Moxley, I'm like, well, we can still have them be Trios champions. But then the bracket came out, and they weren't even in the tournament. So
for some reason,
so that's the thing right there. I honestly thought it was going to be like a tailor-made type of tournament for the Blackpool Combat Club, and then it just didn't happen. I hate the interim championship thing too. I do. But the thing is, another interim like another interim championship type of fiasco that we had, and I believe everybody knows what I'm talking about, not only just in the chat, but I believe you do too, was the TNT Championship. When Cody was the champion at the time, and then he got COVID, not his fault, but it happens. He had the virus, and then all of a sudden, all right, we have to crown an interim world champion, interim TNT champion. This week at Battle of the Belts, it's going to be Dustin Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara for the title. Sammy won, becoming like one of the first, I think like the first 2-time TNT champion or whatever. And then next week on Dynamite, when he was able to return, a ladder match for both the TNT titles. And then we had that match.
That's the thing. I think we are in a point where I think Tony Khan, as opposed to other executives as far as creative goes, he does small things that either work in the long run or don't work in the long run.
I mean, that was like a one week thing. Like, why?
But now he found himself in a situation where not only do you have an interim championship situation where whoever wins, people are going to be mad.
Yeah.
You also got yourself in a thing like, okay, say if one of them wins, is there a rematch clause here? Who's the real champion? Who gets to invoke the rematch clause? If they do that, even though I freaking hate the rematch clause stuff,
we rarely get rematch clauses in AEW, so I don't think that's going to.
I like that. That's a great idea.
I mean, we rarely do. Like,
that's a great.
The only real time we actually had like some kind of a rematch type of thing was when we really had when Danielson and Hangman went at it. Remember? I mean, they went at it twice, and that was both for the titles. So
yeah.
I mean, that was technically a rematch clause type of a thing, but it really wasn't because Hangman retained both times. So
that's my. I just hope Tony doesn't look at this and say money or passion.
right.
That's what I'm looking at here. I see CM Punk. Yes, he's the moneymaker. I don't think CM Punk needs to be world champion to be the moneymaker. I think Mox being world champion is a better gift for him, not only for giving himself all this time while CM Punk was out, but for everything that he didn't get in his prior place of work. We know CM Punk was at the top many times in WWE.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
now,
like,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
It's just I don't want it to sound like I'm just destroying CM Punk. I don't want it to seem like that, because that's not my issue. Do I not like him? I heavily dislike CM Punk. That's not my issue. My issue is just Mox deserves this more than Punk does. And I don't want them to look at Punk as like, oh, he's the moneymaker, so let's give him the belt.
Yeah.
Just throw Mox to have another pointless feud with Rush or some shit. Like it doesn't. It's not connected to me.
Well, his first feud won't be with Rush, but I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
I hope not.
Even though Rush is a great wrestler, so I mean,
Rush is cool. I like Rush.
But we normally don't highlight comments, like usually during the reviews and everything like that. But I do have to highlight this one because I agree with him. I agree with Josh here in saying that Mox has really been the MVP of AEW, and I've said that, on numerous occasions. Mox has been phenomenal. Not even just in this 3-month reign because of the interim world championship type shit. For all the time that he's been here in AEW, he is legitimate. When he said that he's the heart and soul of AEW, he's not fucking lying to us. Like that is him. When people think of AEW, normally people think of Jon Moxley first, and that's not, and that's not even like just me shooting up his own ass. It's true. So I understand both points. I understand why people want Moxley, but I also understand why people do want CM Punk, so that he can have a championship. I don't know. It's going to be a very interesting main event, to say the very least. But the stuff that they had back and forth tonight was great. Whether you like the shots or whether you don't, everything about those promos tonight, my God, it definitely got your attention. And that's what it definitely was made for. And this could possibly be, and in my opinion, it will be one of, if not the biggest match in all of AEW history. So let's get this thing done, and let's, try to figure this out, but hopefully in the best way possible, so that, people can at least still be coming back to AEW television, because, we still got a lot more returns to happen. And once those returns happen, man, I know AEW, WWE, not competition with each other, because, well, before Triple H took over, it wasn't a professional wrestling company. But now Triple H at the helm, we've been getting a lot more professional wrestling.
Yeah.
This could be a very good, friendly type of competition to see where the fans lie. And that's healthy. That's healthy competition. That's not, oh, yeah, I'm just going to say, fuck you. This is healthy competition to say, hey, where do the fans lie?
Yeah.
And we'll see where it goes. Like, I'm a fan of both companies. I am. And I was even, as much to people's dismay, I was a fan of WWE before Triple H took over. It's just, things were happening. I may not have seen that I liked WWE at the time, but I wouldn't be watching if I wasn't, a fan of what the product could be. But the fact that this is not going to wait until All Out, it does kind of scare me a little bit. I don't know if we're going to get a fuck finish so that we can push this to All Out, which I hope not. it's interesting. It's just interesting. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I understand Tony doesn't want to play around, but you save that for All Out, man. You just won.
I think is what you said, and have MJF come back, which I don't want, but I feel like that's the only. I feel like that's the reason why they're doing that.
Because at the end of the day, what did MJF say on his way out about Tony Khan?
I don't remember.
That he's been signing way too many of these ex-WWE guys.
Oh yeah,
whoever comes out of this, whether you like it or not, is a former ex-WWE guy. So if MJF were to be either Moxley or Punk for the title, wherever that may be, he's sticking it to Tony Khan.
Yeah.
He's sticking it to Tony Khan. So whether that actually, listen. If we get the unification match next week and it's actually a thing, and then let's say MJF returns that night and attacks the champion, and then we get, I don't like that it's only a 3-week build, but if we get MJF back for a match at All Out for the title, I'm not going to be mad at it, but why would we only have a 3-week reign for that too? It's so weird.
They're in a different spot right now.
They're in a difficult situation, but it's intriguing. And I'm going to keep watching. That's all.
Got no choice. You got to see that.
All right, guys. We'll get into everything else on the show as well. But that was definitely one of the biggest points that happened tonight on the show. Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson, they killed it tonight. They absolutely killed it tonight. And what was almost like
that's my favorite song. That was a great freaking match right there.
Yes, the Daniel Garcia Bryan Danielson match. This was built as the Dragon and Bryan Danielson versus the Dragon Slayer, the self-proclaimed Dragon Slayer, and Daniel Garcia. These guys went, I would say, for like a good 35, 40 minutes. I mean, at least. The best 2 out of 3 falls match. This was great. But we'll get that into that in just a quick second, guys. But thank you guys so much for joining us right here on Outside the Brand for your AEW Dynamite post-show review. Guys, if you like what you heard so far, hit that thumbs up button. Let's try to get this 20 likes. 20 likes a minimum for the show tonight. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. That way you never miss when we go live. Go to the merch store, bonfire.com, the exclusive home of Outside the Brand, and it's merchandise. And you guys can go get all of the not AEW merchandise. You can go to Shop AEW or AEW Shop, whatever one. It's those phrasing, but just go there for your AEW merchandise. You can get your OTB merchandise on bonfire.com, the exclusive home of Outside the Brand and its merchandise. If you missed anything on the channel over the last few weeks or so, go check it out. It's all on the homepage of the channel. I messed up yesterday as we were not live on Outside the Brand for the Duke the Dumpster Josie interview. We were not live on here, but we were live on Twitch. So if you guys did see us on Twitch, you guys saw the interview. But go to twitch.tv/Panda Wrestling Company, and you can check out the replay of the interview for Duke the Dumpster Josie. A very nice guy to talk to. He was our first like real interview type of feel. And man, he was just a very, very nice human to talk to. Very down to earth and everything like that. I was just so glad that he took an hour out of his night to talk to us. It was a very informative interview, and I can't wait to talk to him again in the future, possibly. So yeah,
Hold on
I
one
mean,
second.
no worries. But yeah, so if you guys want to see that, go to twitch.tv/Panda Wrestling Company, and you guys can find the replay of that interview. It's most likely up now, so you guys can go do that. And yeah, man, it was a very fun time. And obviously after that, it was just chaotic as always. So go check that out. But yeah, we're gonna get right into AEW Dynamite tonight. Let's do this thing, and we can get started right now. So we kick things off with Dynamite opening up with the AEW World Champion CM Punk. Huge CM Punk chants are pretty much roaring throughout the arena tonight as Punk gets on the mic and says that he hasn't been here in quite some time and he needs to get some important things out of the way. There is somebody from around these parts that he wants to challenge to a rematch. Hangman Adam Page. You want a rematch? Well, you got it. Right here, right now. He sits cross-legged in the ring as cowboy shit chants happen in the arena. And Page does not make an entrance. He's not here. Or maybe he was there, but he just didn't make an entrance. Punk gets up. He says, listen, guys, that's not cowboy shit. That's coward shit. The apology must be as loud as the disrespect shown tonight. If anybody else has a problem with the champ, they need to come on down because it's time. Because when it's time for champ shit, nobody ever wants to step up. Then Moxley chants happen. And Punk says that Moxley has a lot of fans, but is not the number one in the ring. I am the AEW champion. Moxley then has always been number two. Moxley is the third best guy in his own group, and that's been a reoccurring theme of his career. Now, his group part, that was Blackpool Combat Club. But then the reoccurring thing of his career, I'll admit, that was a thing for the Shield. Now, I knew it had to have been brought up. I didn't know how it was going to be brought up, but it did. And to be completely honest with you guys, when the Shield was doing their own thing in WWE, I always gravitated towards Seth Rollins first. I did. It was always Seth, Roman, Dean. That's just the way I did. That was the way I went about the Shield. I didn't see Dean as like the leader that most people did. I didn't see Roman as the leader as most people did. Hell, I didn't even see Seth as the leader as most people did. I just liked them in that order. I didn't have a reasoning behind it. I just loved Seth and the way that he was being, portrayed and how he wrestled and all that stuff because that's just the kind of shit I liked. Roman was in the middle because I was trying to gravitate towards him in a little bit, but Dean, to me, it just didn't feel right. And then all of a sudden he had the 400+ day reign as U.S. champion, which helped out for me a little bit, even though he didn't really totally defend it that much. But that's WWE thing. But the fact that they were talking about the Shield tonight, it had to have been brought up. That's just the way they did it.
Boo. I don't approve that message.
My ranking or just them mentioning the Shield?
No, not you, Dan. That was.
How did you always think of the Shield though? Like how did it gravitate towards you, if anything? Like how not like ranking them or anything like that, but like I always like Seth the best, and then Roman, and then Dean.
I always liked Roman the most because he didn't talk; he just did it.
He was the muscle, and he just did things.
I think I gravitated to him the most. He just looked cool.
Yeah.
I think that's always
So,
been so, I mean,
so was Moxley number 2 or Moxley number 3?
he was number 3. He definitely was number 3.
See, so he's not lying there.
He definitely was number 3. It was just.
He's not lying there. I know you hate Punk, but he's not lying.
I mean, but that's like saying the sky's blue. Like we all knew that, you know. We can say a whole bunch of true things all day today. This is a podcast on YouTube. Like you don't get any cookies for that. You know what I'm saying?
I love cookies. Yeah. I love cookies, especially what kind of cookies though? Because that's when they're talking.
Chocolate chip, like warm ones though.
See, I want those cookies then though.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
warm ones. You can get away with an oatmeal, but no raisins in them. You know what I'm saying? That's not good.
No what did you think about the Hangman Page call out though? That was weird to me.
That fell flat. I don't know why they even brought that in there.
That was weird to me.
It should just went straight to Mox. I was like, why are you calling him for?
That was weird to me. But I mean, that has to be for something down the line, maybe. I don't know. The thing is, I know Tony Khan puts these little things in there like just to get the fans talking, but there's reasonings for these things though for me. I don't know why.
I don't know.
But Punk says that so Moxley's been the AEW champion, interim champion, but he is willing to test himself against Moxley. Moxley is the best. Moxley's best friend is the third best Eddie and the second best Kingston of the entire he has ever shared a ring with. Third best Eddie. I'm trying to think. Third best Eddie. What other? I'm thinking Eddie Guerrero and Eddie Kingston, but other than that,
I don't know.
I don't know the third best Eddie part. But the second best Kingston, that was obviously Kofi. But like the third best Eddie, I didn't realize what that was about. But then Punk said that he has missed all of us and all out in Chicago. He is ready to test himself. Moxley isn't the first John, and he is beaten in Chicago for a championship either. Obviously, a John Cena reference. I know a lot of people were not happy about that. That, of course, if you guys do remember, obviously, Money in the Bank 2011 in Chicago, CM Punk walked out with the WWE title. Referencing all this stuff. I do agree with you on one thing, Locke, that he is honestly better than just doing all these WWE references. It's just there's so much that there's only so much that you can do with Moxley because he's only been there. So what else did he have to bring up?
It's the Shield stuff I understand. The Kofi and the Kingston and the everything. It's just like, oh my God. And he does it so much now. It's not even like a shock value. You know, like I remember when like a few months ago when he who said WrestleMania for the first time on, was that him or it was Brian? It was Brian.
Yeah.
It was Brian. My friend just told me it was Brian. That's my issue. It's like you can do the small stuff, but just like the over the head.
WrestleMania is not small by any means. What is what?
He said it, but he moved on. He didn't harper on WrestleMania. Let's talk about WrestleMania for 20 minutes. CM Punk had a whole promo where you're here with Mox. You can talk about the Shield stuff if you want, but just everything else is just like it's overkill to me because he does it so much. Brian doesn't do it that much. Brian does it in bits and pieces. CM Punk does it all the time. He's bitter. You know he's bitter.
Okay, hold on. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And I will say that. Yes, he is. But when you get fired on your wedding day, when you get pretty much drugged up for wrong reasonings because you know you had something else wrong with you, but the doctors didn't do anything to help you, well, you wouldn't want to, be bitter about that?
All I'm going to say is when I worked at the dollar store and I got fired, I wasn't at Walgreens talking about, hey, Dollar General, I hate it. I promise you. I wasn't screaming at them about how much I hated my prior job. As bad as they did, I was not. It was out of my head. It was out of sight, out of mind.
You get fired on your wedding day. You're not pissed off?
I didn't get married yet, so I mean, I.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like in a general sense. Come on now, we know this, but
Oh yeah, I'll be mad. Yeah.
okay,
But why are we
okay.
talking on this 11 years from now? Or 12 years, damn near. We know what happened. Everyone knows what happened. Do you have to bring it up every time you have a major promo? Really? We all know what happened. If we didn't know what happened, then I understand. Maybe he was telling us a story. We all know the story. Why are you telling us every time you have a major pay-per-view? Why? We know. We know all the bad. I never want to act like.
What do you want them to bring up about John, though? What do you want them to bring up?
That they have a match for the championships in AEW? Honestly.
There's more than just that, though. You gotta bring up their history.
We know, though. We know the history. Me and you know the history.
But you gotta listen. I understand that we know it, but you still gotta tell it so you can have so you can have intrigue for the match, bro. What do you like? What?
Why are they telling us things that we know? That's like me telling you have glasses on. You know you have glasses on. Why do I have to tell you this? Hey guys, he has glasses. We all can see it. We all know. That's the best thing about this. We know everything about this CM Punk and Mox feud. We know the Shield stuff. We know they used to be in WWE. We know everything. So again, I say, why does Punk have to put you in these situations where he's just like, hey, you remember this? When it's just like, he's just trying to get a cheap pop at this point. And like I said,
but if any ex-WWE guy was talking about the past WWE stuff, I don't think anybody would have a problem. But with Punk, it's a huge issue.
Because Punk does it in a way that gives off bitter. He does that in a sense that gives off bitter. When Rollins did it, when he had the Cody Rhodes feud, he didn't sound bitter. You know why? Because he never came from AEW. CM Punk was in both places. He always, every time he gets a mic in his hand for a major promo, he always finds a way to throw as much shots at WWE as he can. And it was cool before, but it's getting tired and old now. It's getting tired. And he's going to have major feuds after this Mox feud, no matter who wins. Say he has a freaking feud with, who else is from WWE that's in AEW right now? Freaking Andrade. He's going to make 15 NXT jokes. Like, where does it end is my thing. Where do we end the consistent referencing to where we were before instead of focusing on where we are now as if we don't know what happened before? That's my thing.
Yeah, but it's what happened before that can lead into the now. It's going to be something good. Like that's.
It's going to be good either way, though. The Shield aspect is going to make this match
again. I understand both points. It's just for me, you got to tell the story in that way so that we can at least get some kind of intrigue. I know that we know it. But then again, WWE has like 50 plus years of history. AEW, we need to. AEW is never going to catch up because, like I said, 50 plus years prior. But you want to make memorable moments. You bring up stuff, and that's just a way that it's going to have to be. And I know people are pissed, but that's just the way that it happens. But John Moxley, he makes his entrance. This was corny. This was fucking corny as shit. When CM Punk was, laying in the middle of the ring making snow angels and singing Moxley's song. That was corny as shit. I will say that. Like I'm not gonna disagree with you on that point. Like that was fucking corny. Okay.
It was.
All right. Moxley, he gets in the ring. He gets a mic and says, "Look out, CM Punk is driving pipe bombs," and then he just ducks because pipe bombs. I'm like, okay. He said that he's writing checks that his body can't cash. Punk lives in a fantasy world. Most of the time, he's not even the best wrestler in catering. The mic doesn't give him power. Those words that he spits into those microphones don't mean shit. That belt doesn't mean shit. And to be completely honest, this belt don't mean shit until I beat you. And then he throws it to the ground. I didn't like that. I didn't like him throwing championships to the ground because you shouldn't be doing that. I said that during the whole Charlotte and Becky thing. I'm going to say it for this too. You shouldn't be throwing championships to the ground. But then again, CM Punk did it too, so that made me even more mad. I understand you get passionate, and I understand you do the whole thing, and maybe that was worked into it. But I don't like championships being thrown down to the ground like that. That's just me, though.
Me either.
Okay, so at least, oh my God, thank God we at least agree on that point.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So Moxley says that he is the heart and soul of this company. Punk says that he's like, that's fine. I'll just be the dollars and the cents. I understood what that was meaning, but I know a ton of people were pissed off at that too. Moxley says that the only reason why Punk came to AEW was because he ran out of money, so don't give me all that now. Fine. You can have that shot. You can have that shot. Okay? You can have that shot. That was not necessary, but you can have that shot. That was not necessary. Come on now. That was not necessary.
This whole promo wasn't necessary.
That was necessary.
This whole promo wasn't necessary. Mox was the most right one in this whole promo.
You cannot tell me that him running out of money is a way that he came back to pro wrestling. Come on now.
All right. Are we lying? The best thing about this promo, nobody lied. Nobody said a lie in this whole promo. Were they all honest lies? Yeah. None. We all knew that. We all knew the lies. We all knew this was the reality. At least that's my reality. That may not be your reality, but my reality is that Punk came back.
I don't think Punk came back because he ran out of money. Give me a fucking break. Come on now.
I popped in the show back. I was like, that's it. That's what I've been waiting for.
That's not true. Come on. But I'll let him have that. And so he said, we all know that he came back to AEW. He came to AEW because he ran out of money, and we all know that Punk ran out of his fighting spirit a long time ago. Moxley gets in Punk's face. Punk then pushes him, and it breaks down into a fight. Both men trading blows back and forth until security ran down to break them up. Security hold them back, and both tried to get at each other again. Moxley throws his belt down, and security escorts him to the back. And yeah, that whole thing happened. So I love the way that they started Dynamite tonight. Like that was really good. I felt like they really they built intrigue for the entire thing, because we all know that Punk was the originator of the whole Shield thing, and they had to bring that up for me. And yeah, it was just a great way to kick off the show. It definitely got people's attention, and that's what that was made for. Now, we didn't expect that the match was going to happen next week.
Yeah.
Punk said that it was going to be happening at All Out, and I'm like, that's great, because you should save this for All Out. But man, that was such a great way to kick off the show. We had Tony Schiavone in the back with Powerhouse Hobbs. And Hobbs says that he doesn't need friends. Starks proved that he is okay with losing, but I'm not. For 2 years, Starks paraded around here with the means of something. Hobbs says that he doesn't only breaks backs, he also breaks necks. Justin Robertson introduces a special guest timekeeper, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He's here. The JAS make their way to the ring as Jericho joins them on commentary. Bryan Danielson makes his way to the ring. Danielson shakes Steamboat's hand before entering the ring, and then Garcia came out next. And then we had the best 2 out of 3 falls match between the Dragon and the Dragon Slayer. This match is great.
This should have been. I still think this should have been a main event. I know why it was a main event, but God, this is great. Ugh.
Like I said, this match had to have been 45 minutes. 40, at least 30, like at least 35 to 45 minutes. Like it had to have been, because it definitely felt that way.
Yeah, I mean they have a way of like starting off the show with a bang and keeping the energy. So I told you earlier, this is the only reason why I wanted to come and watch the show, but that was Bryan Danielson is still the best wrestler in the world to me. I can't see anyone else in that spot.
I mean, Kenny Omega may be known as the best ballot machine, but my God, Danielson, Jesus Christ,
on a different freaking level.
That he can give Kenny Omega a run for his money when it comes to that nickname.
We saw that when they had the match.
Yeah, I mean, I was there for that. Like, come on now.
That's still one of the best matches I've seen in my life.
Right. Yeah, and that's the best match I've ever seen live. Period.
Sheesh.
Second match would have to be obviously AJ Styles and Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank. I believe that was 2019 for the Universal title. Because that was when Brock and Bayley won Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, don't remind me of
Brock. Bayley won Money in the Bank and then cashed it in like 2 hours later on Charlotte, which was the best day of my fucking life. Charlotte Flair, and I love Bayley.
Wow.
It was 2019. All right, then I have my history right. We had 3 commercial breaks in this, but they were all picture in picture. So
it's cool with me.
It was fine with me. We got to see the entire match. It was just picture in picture. Through 3 of it. Through 3 parts of it. So it was really cool. I'm not gonna do this match justice. Trust me.
Yeah.
But we'll go through each fall and tell them and tell you guys what really happened. How was Garcia versus Danielson? Wrestle spot you missed. Listen, I had to go back and watch it, bro. I had to go back and watch it. Seriously. If there was one match, you'd at least have to go back to watch 2 matches of tonight's show. This match and the Trios Tag Team Championship Tournament quarterfinal match. Because those 2 matches were top notch.
Yeah.
Top notch.
Top and the bottom of the show.
Yeah. And if you didn't see the Punk and Moxley thing, I definitely do recommend you see that, because I know people may not like the whole WWE stuff and everything like that, but that was a great promo. And it carried on later on in the night too. So
it's still something to watch.
Yeah. So go check out those 2 matches along with the promo. So we had Danielson with forearm, and this is coming out of the first picture in picture. Danielson with forearms, kicking in the corner, running drop kick. Danielson with a Hurricane Rana. Garcia rolls through for a 2 count, chops back and forth. Garcia with a butterfly suplex and an arm lock. Danielson reverses into a back suplex, into a leg lock. Garcia gets to the ropes. Then Danielson with a dive to the outside. Garcia then moves and hits a back suplex on the outside. Looked vicious. Back into the ring we go as Garcia hits a hammer and anvil elbows onto Bryan, and he tries to, lock him in the Dragon Tamer, or his version of the Sharpshooter, which I like that he actually calls it like a like an actual thing for his gimmick of the whole Dragon Tamer. I like that. So he locks him in that. Danielson transitions into a triangle sleeper, and Garcia nails him with a pile driver. Holy shit, did that scare me? That scared the shit out of me.
Yo,
The pile driver spot that scared the shit out of me.
that was disgusting.
Like,
They were trying to actually hurt each other. And I
we
think
gotta protect Bryan, man. Like what?
I don't think he cares anymore. I'm just letting him rock at this point. I mean, I'll let him go. I'm not gonna tell him to stop.
Well, I can't. Like he's gonna do whatever he wants to do, but
Yeah,
man, like
Daniel Bryan. I keep saying Bryan Danielson with the freaking black on is different than Daniel Bryan with the red on.
oh yeah,
Like,
easily.
just the black on, and he's just focused on hurting everyone along with himself. It's ridiculous.
So he is the pile driver. Then Garcia walks into Dragon Sleeper, which I love that everything about him is dragon based.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Dragon Slayer, Dragon Sleeper, all that stuff, the Dragon Tamer. And the ref calls it. He passed out. And Garcia won the first fall. I'm like, well, shit. Is Danielson going 2 straight? I'm like, because usually the first fall, that's like one of the most important things there for 2 out of 3 falls matches. What's gonna happen? Who's gonna get the advantage? And then things happen. So Danielson, he tries to get to his feet. Garcia then attacks with kicks from the corner. Garcia with chops into a running drop kick, and then we head into picture-in-picture. Garcia with stops. Danielson has been busted open at this point. Garcia with the Dragon Sleeper again, but hits a suplex and continues the hold. Garcia with elbows, but Danielson does a quick roll up when Garcia was trying to go for another submission, and that was it. 1, 2, 3, and Danielson got the second fall. I love the line that Taz used on commentary saying, when you try to, just do too much at the submission game, you can get rolled up, and that is exactly what happened with Danielson with Daniel Garcia right there.
Yeah.
I loved it. When Taz, listen, Taz can be good when he can be good on commentary. The man knows what he's talking about.
I love Taz.
The man knows what he's talking about. And it's not just because of his prior in-ring work. The man just knows what he's doing. He knows how to tell stories. And that's what this entire thing was built on tonight. A story.
Yeah.
Because we'll get to what happened afterwards, and man, that's going to be something special. Oh my God.
Is he a face now?
We'll talk about it. I think we got a plan here. I think we do.
All right.
So after the third picture-in-picture, Garcia has the Dragon Tamer locked in. Danielson he transitioned into a label lock. I love the actual transitions from submission to submission in this match. I don't know how the fuck they do it, but they're technical wrestlers, so I guess they just know things on how to transition perfectly through moves. Everything about the transitions tonight from move to move were perfect.
Garcia changed my opinion in one match. I hated when he beat Bryan that last show.
Right. I remember talking about that.
Yeah. This was great because I understand why Bryan gave him respect at the end. He actually kept up with him. More than kept up.
Did you just not like Garcia from the jump, or was it just that one match?
That was my first time focusing in on him that week he beat Bryan. So that was my first impression. I was like,
not the Ring of Honor show?
No, I didn't care. I wasn't watching it. I was watching it, but I wasn't who's Daniel Garcia?
Focusing on Wheeler and Garcia there. Mm-hmm. Okay. But yeah, so we had the Dragon Tamer that was locked in, that was transitioned into a lapel lock. Garcia rolls through for a cover of 2. Garcia then with a running drop kick. Danielson then shrugs it off. Garcia then hits the Busaiku knee, Bryan's move. otherwise known as the knee plus in WWE, because when Danielson had the B plus player thing going on, they called that the knee plus in WWE, but they call it here the Busaiku knee. I like the Busaiku knee better, honestly, because that's just the Busaiku. But they did the Busaiku knee, and that gets a 2 count. Garcia hit a great Busaiku knee though. Like that running knee, that was fantastic. I loved it. Both men trade elbows. Danielson then gets an upper hand and locks his arms. Garcia then rolls through and hits some stomps. Danielson then rolls through and hits headbutts and stomps to the neck. You're gonna get your fucking head kicked in, and then he just got his head kicked in.
I love it. He didn't do that match. I feel like he did it in that match against Roman, I think.
Yes, he did.
Okay. That's why I freaking love that match so much.
He did.
I love when he does that. That is freaking killer.
And he also, I remember one match where he did it during his environmental run. If you remember that run enough.
I don't remember the match, the scenario.
I don't remember the match or scenario either, but I do recall him doing at least one time. If you guys don't remember, that was when he was paired up with Rowan, or Eric Redbeard now, and he was doing the whole environmental shit, and that actually led to Kofi Mania. But I digress there. Great moment there too. But yeah, so we had all of that take place. Garcia, Danielson gets a Dragon Sleeper. Garcia tries to escape it, but can't. Danielson with elbows to get into the label lock one more time. Danielson then captures the arm and hits hammer and anvil elbows, and then locks in another label lock, and Garcia taps out. And Bryan Danielson wins the second fall, thus having the winner of the best 2 out of 3 falls match in Bryan Danielson. This match made Daniel Garcia tonight. This entire feud made Daniel Garcia tonight. Everything about Daniel Garcia that you knew before, I think you kind of just have to switch out on a dime now, because now you can't just not respect Garcia after what happened tonight.
Yeah.
The kid killed it. And I only say kid because I'm trying to figure out his age right now. I only say kid because he's 23 years old.
Damn.
I mean, 23 is not a kid. Let's not get it wrong there. But like Daniel Garcia at the age of 23, it's not like he hasn't been doing this for long. And he's been, if you can hang with Bryan like that, like there's something there, man.
Definitely.
He began competing in 2018. So he's really only been doing this for about 3 years. The fact that you're doing this for 3 years and you're doing that damn good of a match with one of the best pro wrestlers in the world, if not the potential.
Yeah.
Now Danielson, he gives Garcia a round of applause and tells the crowd to do the same. They do. Danielson then offers a helping hand to get up and a handshake. Jericho then runs down from the announce table and attacks Danielson from behind. Garcia then pulls Jericho off of Danielson. Jericho then shouts at Garcia. Garcia slaps his hand, and Jericho leaves. "You're a wrestler" chant happens in the arena. Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson. That match is going to be happening at All Out.
Oh my God.
It's going to be all about Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia was one of the first original members, or at least planned members, for the Blackpool Combat Club.
Mm.
But because of the Jericho Appreciation Society and Jericho wanting to help Garcia, get more polished, which I do believe he did, that's why he joined the JAS first.
Yeah.
I do believe that we are going to be getting a Daniel Garcia face turn, and he will be joining the Blackpool Combat Club. I do believe that. I do believe that he will be a part of Bryan's group at some point, possibly after All Out. Because there's a reason why he just did not leave with Jericho tonight.
Yeah.
It's not. I was on live for a little bit of the match, but then my phone overheated and I couldn't be there. But one of the funny, comments that were in that live saying Danielson on Garcia on a pole match. I'm like, guys, come on, let's be real here. And then obviously somebody said Jericho versus Danielson ladder match for the custody of Garcia. I'm like, guys, let's be respectful here. Let's be respectful here. But in all honesty, we're going to be getting Jericho and Bryan at All Out, which is phenomenal. It's going to be a great match. And we're going to see where Daniel Garcia lies. Does he want to be a professional wrestler? Or does he want to be a sports entertainer? It's going to be good, man. I'm telling you.
We're going to see. I mean, I thought there was more money in Daniel versus Jericho, but I understand. Like Garcia versus Jericho, but I understand why. I don't know. I thought that's where they were going, I think.
I mean, we could possibly see Garcia and Jericho do something before the pay-per-view, but I think we give Bryan and Jericho.
That's great. I'm not complaining about that at all. It's just I thought they were going a different way, considering how the segment ended.
Tony Schiavone is with Swerve in Our Glory. And then Private Party showed up.
Yeah, Nate was freaking out.
Wait, what was that? You were in Nate's live?
Yeah, he was freaking out when he saw it. It was crazy.
I'm not 19, Josh. I'm 24.
I said he's 19.
And you're 19, so he's the one who should be calling you kid Phil. I'm 24. I'm a year older than him.
Oh my gosh.
So, Private Party, they're ranked number 5 in the rankings. I don't know how. I really don't. These AEW rankings, they just don't make sense at times, but they're number 5 apparently. Oh, wait a second, Josh, you didn't know that. Oh, okay. Well, my bad. He's like, oh, my fault. Oh, I didn't know you didn't know. My bad. I kind of went off on Josh there for a second. I'm sorry. But yeah, they're with Private Party, who apparently are the ranked number 5 tag team in AEW right now. I do. I look like I'm fucking 12, honestly, without the data, but it's happened. It happens plenty of times, Josh. Don't worry.
Oh my God.
Swerve says that this is the closest that they will ever get to tag team championship goal, and they could learn a thing or two from Swerve and Our Glory. Private Party then say that they will take those titles on Friday. So apparently we get a tag team title match on Friday. Okay. Just another win for Swerve and Our Glory, I guess.
Pretty much.
I really like Private Party, though. I don't know why they use them in this way.
If they pull the rug from us and
they just take the titles, like what?
I would be astonished. I don't think they're going to, but I would be astonished. Oh, no.
We then had Tony Nese make his entrance with Mark Sterling, or so we thought, because then Jon Moxley runs down, attacks them both.
I was like, what did he do? He's
like, Mox, what is happening here?
I turned away. I looked back, and Tony's is rolling down the ramp. I'm like, what happened? I see Mox sprinting down. I turned for 2 seconds.
So Moxley gets in the ring and calls out Punk. He's like, forget this shit. Like, we're unifying the titles tonight, like right now. I'm like, what? What?
Guess we're doing this now. Huh?
I'm like, what the fuck? We're doing this now? Punk then he runs down as producers are trying to hold him back. Moxley tries to attack, but he's held back by Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. I even see fucking Claudio and Wheeler come out. They were just there. And then Moxley, he went through the crowd. But we did see a special appearance tonight, my man. And I do have to say, actually, we saw 2 special appearances tonight. And I don't know if you really noticed this for real, but we saw Pat Buck.
Really?
We saw Pat Buck. That was the redhead.
Okay.
If you just saw just the only redhead in that entire brawl, that was Pat Buck. And then we saw Spike freaking Dudley, bro.
That was Spike.
It was Spike Dudley in one of those, like, in that final part of the brawl.
I wish I saw it. All I saw was freaking Cesaro holding Mox up like a baby. He just lifted him off his feet. He was just holding him. I was like, why is he so strong? Mox was moving, and he was just holding him. How's he doing that? He was not moving. It was ridiculous.
But yeah, Spike freaking Dudley and Pat Buck are part of that, like, separation brawl type feel.
Wow. I wouldn't have known that. Dummy.
I knew Pat Buck because he was the only redhead out there, but I didn't notice Spike Dudley until I went back.
That shit's crazy.
So Tony Schiavone is then with the Jericho Appreciation Society. And Jericho says that he will give Garcia a pass for that, but he needs to know for sure. Next week, he will talk to Garcia in the ring and ask whose side is he really on. Steamboat then walks in and says Garcia is coming into his own. If anybody should mentor Garcia, Danielson is the better choice. Jericho then says to stay out of their business. Parker then gets in Steamboat's face, and Steamboat decks him. He just fucking rocked him.
That's what I was.
And I really like their face-to-face between Steamboat and Jericho because if you remember, listen, it happens, bro. You're gonna have to accept it. This is the reason why you do these things.
I didn't even remember. I forgot about WrestleMania 25.
WrestleMania 25, Jericho in the 3-on-1 handicap match. I believe it was Steamboat,
Snuka,
Roddy Piper, and Snuka.
Yeah. Oh my, that was a weird WrestleMania. That was a weird match.
That was a weird time, bro.
That's one of my favorite WrestleManias as a whole, but I remember that match. I'm like, why is this happening? Crazy. That's funny though.
Steamboat, Jimmy Superfly, and Roddy Piper versus Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 25.
2009 was weird.
Yeah, very weird. And the thing is, you would think that I just wouldn't want to remember that. But that's just one thing that I do remember because it's just Ricky the Giant Steamboat. I think the reason why I remember that so much is because that's really one of my first memories of Ricky because obviously we weren't watching during this time.
Mm-hmm.
So if at least I have some type of memory, it's going to have to be with that because it's Chris Jericho.
That's the only, I watch the WrestleMania all the time. I used to have it on DVD. I don't have it anymore. I just watch that WrestleMania. I love that show. It was a weird show, but for some reason I loved it. So
Right.
that was that feud was I think it was on Raw. I think that feud started on Raw.
Yeah.
With the whole Jericho. I don't think it was a SmackDown feud, but I do remember watching that match, very confused on why it was happening. Did Jericho win that match? I think he did.
He did. Yes, he did.
Okay, yeah, he did beat 3 people at once. Yeah. Okay.
But the thing is, I for sure thought it was like some type of an elimination type deal.
All I remember is Jericho doing the line tamer on Steamboat. That's the only spot I remember from that match. I just remember that for some reason. I don't know if it was a picture.
Always spot. That's crazy.
I remember the line tamer because Ricky had like white and red trunks on, and he was balding, and Jericho was just had him in the line tamer. I was watching this. I'm like, why is this happening?
Chris Jericho defeated Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and Roddy Piper with Ric Flair in their corner, and it was elimination style. I freaking knew it, man.
Flair was there?
Yeah.
Nah, bro, what?
Guess how long the match was? Just out of curiosity.
10 minutes?
8 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, great. I do not remember Ric Flair being anywhere in that vicinity. What in the world?
I knew it had to have been elimination because they
would have broke it up. Right?
It just felt like an elimination style match to me for some reason with 3 old dudes versus Chris Jericho.
He just solos all 3.
He did. I mean, that's what happened. He won the match. But then again, R-Truth soloed Sting and who was it? Sting and
Sting and freaking Kurt, wasn't it?
Kurt, yes. Sting and Kurt for the TNA tag titles.
R-Truth is the best wrestler to ever walk. That's just why that happened. Great.
And because Aaron Jones, not Aaron Jones.
What's his name? Damn.
Pac-Man Jones. Yeah, Pac-Man Jones. And also because the NFLPA didn't allow Pac-Man to get in the ring and actually wrestle. So yeah, R-Truth had to do that. TNA was a wild time too, bro. Like that was wild.
Yeah, they were just doing stuff and waiting to see it work.
So yeah, the Varsity Blondes made their way to the ring as the Gunn Club were next, accompanied by their father, Billy Gunn. This was fucking pointless, or at least the match was, until I figured out what the fuck was going on. Ass Boys chance happened. Austin Gunn took out Pillman, and then he hit the Colt 45 on Garrison for the 1-2-3. This was pointless up until what happened after the match.
God.
Because Billy Gunn got on the mic and said that that's what he has been looking for in his sons all this time. He knows he has been super hard on them, but he is very proud of them at the same time. He has done a lot of great things, but him being paired up with his sons is one he is most proud of. They all hug in the ring. Stokely Hathaway then walks out. Billy Gunn stares at him, and Austin and Colton attack their own father from behind. The Acclaim then run down to save Billy as the Gunn Club ran through the crowd. Bowen says, "Scissor me, daddy ass," and they do the whole thing. And there you go.
Billy Gunn is
the Acclaim versus the whole. What was that? Sorry.
Billy Gunn is the Acclaim dad now.
Yep. We're still gonna get the Acclaimed and the Gunn Club. It's just gonna have to be something different. I don't think they could even really be called the Gunn Club anymore, considering they're with Stokely. But
you probably figure something out.
But we'll see. I mean, listen. I honestly didn't expect them to turn on their dad. They were hugging. I was kind of in the moment, and then all of a sudden Stokely came out. I'm like, there's no way they're fucking doing this. And then they did. I was like, what the fuck?
I didn't expect that. Why are you beating up Pops? What Pops do?
Why are you beating up Dad?
Beating up Pops is crazy.
So we come like so. Listen, I'm fine with getting the Acclaimed and the Gun Club or whatever they're going to be calling them now with Stokely. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Kenny Omega addressed the fans after Dynamite tonight out of character, and he did a promo afterwards, which was cool. I don't know what he said, but he broke character and just talked to the fans as Tyson, which is cool.
Okay.
We might get footage of that at some point during the night. But that's really cool. Okay, well, I do know some things that he said.
Okay.
Omega cut a promo after Dynamite went off the air. The former IWGP champion trolled the fans in attendance by saying that he should blame them for sending him to physical rehab.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Cool.
Omega added that while he might blame the fans on television, he appreciates them, quote, deep down inside. He then thanked the crowd for being crowd before handing the mic to Matt Jackson. Check out the video below, and they did an Instagram link, which I can't click because it's from the Ringside app and they don't have clickable links. But I'll definitely check that later. It's cool. It's just cool to have Kenny back. That's all that really matters to me.
Yeah.
After a commercial break, Death Triangle are backstage. Pac calls out Will Ospreay, and they have unfinished business, and he is looking forward to that next week. Death Triangle is an unstoppable unit. Jungle Boy, he makes his way to the ring. You know the guy, yeah. He's here, and he gets on the mic and says that a few weeks ago he wore a T-shirt that got him into a lot of trouble. But man, did that shirt speak a lot of words.
It spoke words.
It definitely spoke words.
Mad words.
That shirt hit the nail on the head. For weeks, he is trying to hit Christian at every chance that he got. Cage has done nothing. Either he can chase Christian every opportunity that he can, or man up and face him at all out. Unless the shirt was right, and Cage is too much of a put, and then obviously they cut him off with Christian on the Titantron. Christian then makes his entrance, and Cage says that the answer is no. Things are getting out of hand. He is proud of Jungle Boy, however, because a year ago, Jungle Boy wouldn't be formulating sentences on the mic, and now look at him. Frustration boiled over when they lost the tag team titles. They both said things that they didn't mean, and he doesn't want to fight. He wants Jungle Boy to come home. The fans then chant bullshit, which I love. I love that shit.
God.
Bullshit.
Not falling for
that one. Cage says that they are family. I love you. Please come home. Cage then offers a hug, but Jungle Boy takes him down and ruins him with punches. Christian then tries to escape, but Jungle Boy gets in some more shots. Cage then hits a low blow and throws Jungle Boy into the barricade. He screams, "I fucking hate you."
was heated.
and then Jungle Boy got the advantage, threw Cage into the steel steps, and stomps Cage's arm on the steel steps. Security then run down to break up the beating. This is great because, like I predicted at first, we're gonna get Jungle Boy and Christian at All Out. I know you wanted a tag match, and honestly, I was kind of into the boat of it being a tag match as well. But I think this is going to be a tailor-made match for, Jungle Boy to get his revenge on Christian. Yeah. And we're going to be seeing a great match at All Out between those two phenomenal athletes. I love it.
I'm interested. I before this segment, I don't think I was interested. Now I kind of want to see it a little bit more. So,
okay,
we'll see what happens.
And here's the thing. And honestly, Josh, I'm gonna highlight your comment again because I wouldn't mind this.
Yeah, I think it should be too.
I wouldn't mind this because we had obviously the concerto thing happen. Obviously, that kind of went south because Jungle Boy actually legitimately got hurt from that. But then when Jungle Boy came back, he brought a steel chair to try to even the odds. And then we had the spot with the steel steps where Jungle Boy stomped Christian's arm into the steps. So honestly, I wouldn't mind it being a DQ match or a no DQ match rather.
That'd be cool. I think
it calls attention to the weapons that have been used to get to this point. It could work.
Cool with that.
I wouldn't mind it. Good call there, Josh. Honestly, the one thing I did love about this promo though is that I love that I love that Christian said, "I love you. Please come home." And then moments later, he just says, "Yeah, I fucking hate you."
So I was like, why is he trying to do this? Oh, I'm sorry, from I was like, he's about to hit him. I thought Christian was going to be the first one to hit Jungle Boy, but that was something. That was something.
I fucking hate you. Of course, they had to, silence the fucking part because if they silence the whole, if they silence pretty much MJF's promo, they had to silence that one. Tony might have to talk to the executives about that though, so we'll see where that goes.
Great.
That might have been just in the heat of the moment though, because I don't know. That could have just been in the heat of the moment, and that could have happened, or that was part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe Christian had to talk to Tony after that, but we'll see. But yeah, we'll see where that goes. After that, a commercial break happened, and FTR and Wardlow are backstage, calling out Lethal, Dutt, and Satnam Singh. Cash says, and nobody messes with the Pinnacle. I was, when that happened, when he mentioned the Pinnacle, I'm just shocked that there's still a thing. Do you even know what the Pinnacle? Sorry, yeah. Do you know what the Pinnacle is?
I barely know that.
Okay.
I barely know that.
All right, yeah. All right. So here it is. I might have to look this up though, because I might be wrong on this too, because obviously Wardlow's not a part of them anymore. Let me look this up because it's MJF's stable, if you know that.
Yeah.
So it's MJF as the leader. Sean Spears, we know him as Ty Dillinger, but Sean Spears. Obviously Dax and Cash.
Oh, they're in it too?
Yeah, Dax and Cash are a part of it. Obviously, Wardlow was a part of it, and then obviously he's not anymore because, kicked MJF's ass. and then Tully Blanchard when he was paired up with Dax and Cash as their manager. So it was MJF, Shawn Spears, FTR, and Wardlow with Tully Blanchard, but now that really isn't a thing anymore. So yeah, I was very shocked when he mentioned the Pinnacle because that didn't really fit into anything at one point.
Yeah.
But he said it, so I was like, "Well, wow, okay." But he said that nobody messes with the Pinnacle. Wardlow says that it doesn't matter how big you are, everybody gets power bombed. Next week, Dax faces Jay Lethal. Should be pretty good.
I can't. I feel like this match should happened a long time ago, so I just want to see it.
Yeah. Up next, the in-ring debut of Kilynn King, or at least on Dynamite's sake. Maybe she's done stuff on Dark. I don't know. I don't watch. But for Dynamite, this is her real in-ring debut. And I have to say, when you're going up against Toni Storm in your first AEW Dynamite TV match, you better bring it. And man, does she do it. It wasn't a long match by any means, but she did bring it for what they had.
Which is cool. I never saw it before, so this is a cool first showing.
Yeah.
Cool.
So both women, they trade blows back and forth. Storm gets a headlock, and King with a headlock takedown. King then avoids a drop kick. Storm then avoids a drop kick too, and Storm finally hits one. King then hits a springboard knee. Storm then avoids a drop kick. King blocks a tornado DDT, then forces Storm into the ring post, then the barricade. We're back from picture in picture. Storm with forearms, a butterfly suplex for a 2 count. King then with a roundhouse kick, super kick, spine buster, cover for a 2 count. Storm then with a German, hip attack, tornado DDT, a pendulum DDT, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. A lot of sequences in this match, which I believe that's what really made that match so interesting in the way that it was. Like I said, it wasn't a long match, and I believe we all knew heading into this that Toni was winning. But Kilynn, she killed it.
Yeah, she looked cool. She didn't look bad at all. I mean, I was freaking Toni Storm all the way for this one, but I really want her to be champion. I really want Toni Storm to be champion.
I think you're going to get that. I think you're going to get that on All Out. I think Thunder Rosa is losing that title, sadly.
Something has to.
I think Thunder loses that title. I don't want it, but it's not that I don't want Toni Storm to be champion. It's that they should have done so much better.
Yeah,
with Toni.
I feel you.
With Thunder, I mean. But yeah, we still haven't had an announcement yet from Tony Khan saying that Kylynn's all elite, but I really hope she is. That's cool. Like, I really hope she is. Like,
shit, she looked cool.
So we had a recap of Hook winning the FTW title. Hooky, yeah.
Oh my God. That's what I came.
He has a match with Clayton this Friday for the title. Whoever this Clayton guy is, I don't know. He's a former TV reality star.
What?
Yeah, apparently he's a former Jersey Shore MTV reality star turned pro wrestler.
So he's the Miz?
Pretty much.
Okay, good.
Pretty much.
Great.
And no, you can't say that that's just a shot at WWE. That's just him being him.
Yeah, I was looking about like, who is this jabroni? I don't know who in the world that guy is. Whatever.
But then we had, the main event, the trios match. Andrade, Roosh, and Dragon Lee versus the Young Bucks and question mark. We didn't know who the question mark was at that time. We all had a feeling of who it was going to be, but we didn't truly know. Andrade made his entrance with Roosh and Dragon Lee. The Young Bucks make their entrance, accompanied by Brandon Cutler. People were thinking, all right, well, Brandon Cutler's going to have to be the guy, I guess, right? With his goddamn broken face that he's had for like 2 years now. So, here you go. Cutler gives Justin Roberts a piece of paper as he was heading out of the ring. He gets back in, and I don't know what happened here, but I think Justin kind of just lost his footing, and he almost took a back bump on his way back to the ring.
Oh,
and of course, the commentators have to call to it. They have to call attention to it. Because Taz said, well, it looks like Justin almost took his first back bump.
Okay.
And then Tony Schiavone said, well, there's a first time for everything. And then JR just laughs.
Okay.
I'm like, what the fuck, guys? Come on. Just let the man.
I didn't even see that.
Just let the man. He saved himself. He grabbed onto the ropes. He's cool. He didn't fall. He didn't actually take the back bump. He saved himself, but
okay, good.
The fact that the commentators actually called out on it, saying it's like, oh my gosh, he almost took his first bump.
Jeez.
So he reads this entire line. I want to know. I wish I got what he said, like word for word, because.
Once you start reading, that's gonna make it because the crowd, the lights dim. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, like I want to read that out because that shit was so good.
I don't know what he was saying because the crowd was screaming.
All right, hold on. I want to see if there's another. Dang it! Like not even that. Not even this article says that. Says the whole thing. Damn it! All right. Well, either way, I'm probably gonna make a video about it on TikTok anyway because that was just fantastic.
Yeah.
But regardless, the lights dimmed and everything as they were doing the whole thing, and Kenny Omega was announced as the special partner. Omega made his entrance with Don Callis and Michael Nakazawa. There's your Michael Nakazawa guy, dude.
I don't know. I was so confused.
There's Michael Nakazawa.
God.
You don't need to know who he is. Trust me. You don't need to know.
Okay, good. I was very confused.
But the one thing I will tell you about him is think of David Otunga and the baby oil stuff. Yeah, he's a baby oil type guy.
Okay, well, yeah, that's all I need to know.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough, right?
Wow. All right.
So yeah, if you ever want to look up a Michael Nakazawa match, he's gonna have baby oil in it. So there you go.
Wow.
He's crazy with it too, bro. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So Omega makes his entrance with Don Callis and Michael Nakazawa as Callis joins commentary. That arena, when Kenny came back, deafening.
It was screeching.
Definitely. Like, and it was so good. It was such a good way to have Kenny come back. So we come back from picture in picture, and Roosh with a kick in the corner, and Mox the Bucks. So I know Loft loved that.
Of course.
Nick then attacks him from behind, and Matt takes out Dragon Lee. Omega then tags in, axe handles all around. and Andrade hits a kick to the gut. Omega then with a high kick, Dragon then suplex to Andrade, and the same to Roosh, and then to Lee. The Elite then hit triple kicks, triple super kicks, and then cover for a 2 count. All of them covered, by the way. All of them did. So it was like a triple. Cover. We saw the 2 hands doing the 1-2, and then just a kick out. So that was just great.
Yeah.
I love it when they do that. For some reason, I'm just like, you're just seeing them flop around. I'm like, what the fuck is
It looks so weird. It was a cool spot.
But you have to do it though. I mean, 2 pinfalls are happening, so technically 3.
Like a fish.
So you do that. The Bucks then would dive to the outside. Omega then with a Terminator chant, and then he does a tope, but Lee sweeps the leg. I wanted to see the Terminator, bro. Can I just see the Terminator dive one more time, please?
Oh God.
I want to see the Terminator dive. Have you ever you've seen it? You had to have seen it before.
I think I have. I'm pretty sure I have.
He does the whole Terminator be on the mat. The crowd, claps along with it, and then he does a tope suicida where he
Yeah.
So he does that thing, but we didn't get that because sweep the leg, Randy, and then
sweep the leg, Randy.
And we sweep the leg. So we did all of that. Jose then trips him and then gets a hold, and they hold him against the barricade. Then Lee hits a tope over the ropes, but he landed in the fucking crowd.
Yo, that looked so bad.
He landed in the fucking crowd.
He got blasted. That looked like it hurt so freaking bad, yo. Oh my gosh.
Lee then covers Omega for a 2 count. Andrade then fights off Nick. Lee then with a Hurricane Rana off the apron. Andrade then with a moonsault to Omega for a 2 count. Andrade then with a hammerlock DDT cover, but Matt Jackson breaks it up. Omega then with a V-trigger. We finally saw our first V-trigger back to Lee. And then he hits another V-trigger. And then Omega hits the one-winged angel for the win as the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega move on into the semifinals. I know it's way too early considering it's the first match, but I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be shocked. Mad and shocked are 2 totally different feelings. I'm not going to be shocked if they win the titles.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to be shocked. I'm not. Because here's the thing. When it comes to the AEW Tag Team Championships, I believe one of the first, because the first ever AEW Tag Team Champions were SCU. But one of the first ever Tag Team Champions for AEW were Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page. And we know where that led.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that reign with Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page, the tag team titles right now wouldn't be where they are today. That reign was so special for the tag team titles because it got them to the prominence that they needed it to be with a growing tag team division as special as it was. And I think that that's what they're going to try to do with the Trios Tag Team Championships. Put it on people that are credible enough, put it on people that are established enough to give them great trios matches to get these championships to where they want it to be. And then whoever beats those guys for the trios titles, they're set. And then they can, send those tag team titles to the stratosphere, and then we'll see amazing trios matches from here on out. Not saying that we're not going to see them now, because this match right here was fucking amazing. But you put them on credible guys, whoever beats them, they're like made men.
Yeah.
So it makes sense from a, standpoint of that. I know people don't really like the Young Bucks and Kenny all that much. The Elite are it's a very controversial type group. And I get that. Some people love him, some people hate him. But they're new titles. I'd rather have them be given to people that are credible and that you know they're just going to have a great match with them and give them prestige than to just, wing it with somebody. And I know there are a ton of other trios in this, a landscape of AEW that deserve shots.
Yeah.
But who says that none of these other trios are going to be, getting their desserts, as they could possibly be the one to beat the Elite?
I guess. I don't know. I guess. It takes me out of the tournament, but
yeah,
I guess.
All I want, though, I want House of Black in the finals, please. Please. That'll be a redeeming quality for me. If we get House of Black versus the Elite, that'll be fine. But then again, I don't want the House of Black to just lose.
That's the thing. I'm like, if you put them in there,
I know it's gonna be crazy. I
don't know, man.
But we'll see. It's been the first match was great, so I have no issue with the rest of the tournament, because I think everything's going to be good there, because we're going to get the Trustbusters versus Best Friends with Orange Cassidy on Friday, so we'll see that. And I believe we have Death Triangle versus Ospreay and Aussie Open next week on Dynamite.
Okay.
So we'll see where that goes. And then obviously we have the unification match next week.
Yeah.
So we're going to be ending the first round with House of Black and Dark Order, which could be cool, because obviously the Hangman Adam Page type thing with the Elite, now that Kenny's back, what's going to be happening with Hangman Page? That's going to be a thing, and we're going to have to keep track of. So it's a very interesting tournament, but like I said, if I think we know who the winners are coming out of this thing, it will take people out of it.
Yeah.
But overall, I kind of see where people are coming from, where Kenny didn't look so good. But I'm giving him time. He's been out of the ring for over 200 days. These injuries that caught up to him were massive injuries.
Yeah.
He's not going to be 100%. He's not going to be like the 7-star classic Kenny Omega that we all know him to be. Especially with the surgery he's had.
But that's the only thing with him. He sets a freaking standard. So every time he gets in the ring, people expect that. But I don't think that he needed to be out there tonight, because he just looked bad. Like it wasn't like bad wrestling. It just looked like he wasn't supposed to be out there,
Well, I guarantee you that's why he didn't do the Terminator dive, because he might not totally be 100%, but
he made it work. Because he's a great wrestler, but it still was like it gave me the same feeling that I was watching like halfway when Cody was wrestling. Like he still made it work, but it was just like cringing while I was watching it,
Yeah.
I hate cringe watching it, because it takes me out of the match. But you have good wrestlers like that, it's better. But he definitely still looks like he needs to take a little bit longer, because shit, I don't know. I ain't like it.
I mean, hopefully Omega can, figure this out, because that's the one thing that I didn't want. If Kenny Omega wasn't fully ready to return, then why, he shouldn't have just returned tonight. They could have found something else for the Young Bucks to do.
I thought Hangman, I'm like, there's no way he's ready. And then he came out, and I was like, yep, he's not ready. I don't know. I feel like you could have had him come back and had him sit ringside as like Hangman came out and helped him. You still would have got the same pop. You still would have got everything. But if Kenny wasn't ready to wrestle, don't put him in the ring, you know?
Yeah.
But
I mean, we'll see. Like, I understand. I totally do. I hope that he's just not. I hope this doesn't turn into like something that's like, well, I have to come back because this is just, this is just what we have planned. Listen, bro, get healthy.
yeah.
Because we don't want to see like the injuries that he had, man. Like there were some pretty serious shit. So if this is going to be like the final run of Kenny Omega, that's fine. But we don't need it to end like. We don't need to have like an Edge situation, you know?
Yeah.
So, and I don't mean to call out Edge like that, but like, like Edge, he kind of just continued until the neck couldn't take it.
Yeah.
And he had the early retirement. And then he left. And then he had to leave for however long it was. 9 years, I think.
I think so.
Probably around 9. And then he came back, obviously. But
they just uploaded that announcement video when he retired. They uploaded that to the YouTube channel today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wonder why.
I don't know. They
uploaded random shit throughout the year.
Yeah, I saw 2011. I was like, what is this? And it was like Edge retirement. I was like, why are they showing this right now?
Like, why do you want to make me cry?
I'm watching that shit again. I was sobbing. I'm watching that again.
But overall, this was a great episode of Dynamite. We saw some great action. Like I said, not too many matches here tonight, but the matches that happened were some good quality. Punk and Moxley, that's going to be a great thing heading into the next few weeks until All Out. I can't. No, wait, I can't say that because the match is next week. I keep thinking. There's got to be something. Like, come on. Like.
It definitely is. Shit.
And I didn't even really mention this at all either because I didn't even really see this for real. But after the match, Andrade turned on Dragon Lee.
That was so weird. They like did that in like 30 seconds. Like, all right, see you next week.
They did it in 30 seconds, and then JR said we have to go. Goodbye. Like, no.
I was like, whoa.
What is that about?
What was that? Okay, there's a major turn out of nowhere, and next week. No, what the?
So Andrade, Rush, and Dragon Lee all called Los. I'm not gonna butcher that Spanish name. I'm not. You guys know what happened. You guys know what they're called. The trio has worked for promotions around the world, as we all know, and they recently formed their way back to AEW. The results in a big main event that happened this week. They squared off against the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega in the AEW Trios Tag Team Championship Tournament quarterfinals. Their match got a lot of time for the main event of the show. The match contained plenty of cool spots. Kenny Omega won the match by hitting Dragon Lee with the one-winged angel. As the Elite exited the ring, Andrade turned on Dragon Lee, blaming him for the loss. Andrade then spiked Lee with a hammerlock DDT before throwing vicious punches in his face and ripping off his mask. The Elite then saw the assault, and the Bucks rushed to the ring to fend off Andrade and Rush. We'll have to see what happens next, but there are certainly a lot of interesting booking decisions in AEW. Well, that's an understatement. Ringside News. But But yeah, it was just weird. Just like why?
Oh,
And the fact that Roosh was a part of it too, because that's his fucking brother. Because Dragon Lee and Roosh are legitimate brothers.
Oh.
I just didn't understand that. And then we have some tweets here from random fans out there. Dragon Lee bled for his team, and Andrade and Roosh turn on his own brother. Andrade made Roosh turn on his own brother. What a bastard, LMAO.
God.
Andrade and Roosh turn on Dragon Lee as the show goes off the air. Hashtag AEW Dynamite, hashtag AEW. And then he tweets out this.
All right. Roman's face.
Another one says, wait, why did they cut the feed? Why did Andrade turn on Dragon Lee? Hashtag AEW Dynamite.
Wow.
And then finally, two more. LOL, Roosh and Andrade turn on Dragon Lee as Dynamite goes off the air because why not?
Wow.
And then the final one saying no with 5 O's and 5 exclamation points. Andrade, Olito, and Roosh turn on Dragon Lee with 5 exclamation points. Hashtag AEW Dynamite.
Just like that.
What the? But honestly, guys, I don't know what the fuck that was. One of them did say, just because, I'm just going to go with that until we finally get an explanation.
All right.
But the thing, like, seriously, guys, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. That was just completely left field, just like everybody else. If I knew, I'd tell you. Like, if I knew, like, something was in the works, I'd tell you. I just don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that was that. Then obviously Rampage spoilers happened tonight, but we're not going to do that because that's for Friday.
Yeah.
But I will tell you the matches though, because we had obviously the tag team title match between Swerve and Our Glory and Private Party. So that is a thing that happened on the show. Apparently that kicked off the show.
Okay.
We have Hook versus Zach Clayton for the FTW title. That's just another win for Hook. I mean, I think we all know that.
Yes.
I mean, there's no way a former MTV star is going to win the title. Like, come on.
Better not.
Apparently, Buddy Matthews had a match on the show, so that's cool.
Okay.
I haven't seen him in quite some time in singles action.
Yeah.
Penelope Ford took on Athena. So I think we know who won that. And then the main event was the Best Friends versus the Trustbusters in the tournament, the Trios Championship tournament.
Okay.
So we have like 5 matches on the show in 1 hour. So we'll see how long those matches are. But
we always find a way to do it.
I can't imagine the Hook match being that long and the Athena match being that long.
Yeah.
So really, if you guys just, want to catch the good stuff, I'd probably just check out Swerve in Our Glory, Buddy Matthews, and the main event. So we'll see.
Pretty much.
But yeah. That was it for AEW Dynamite post-show review right here on Outside the Brand. I hope you guys enjoyed what you heard tonight. If you guys did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Turn on the bell for all notifications. That way you never miss when we go live. You guys can get.
Hold on.
Oh yeah. That's actually, that good catch. Good catch. Guys, what we predicted on Tuesday's talk looks like it's possibly going to happen. Would you like to tell them the news, Loft?
I'm gonna read y'all this report, okay? And I've seen multiple people confirm that this was the actual thing that's happening. So let me pull it up again. The NXT brands are merging, and the All Out Weekend Peacock special will essentially be the NXT 2.0 series finale. After that show, a number of wrestlers will be called up for the draft, and remaining ones will be repurposed for what will basically be NXT 3.0. It will be a mix of 2.0 and UK remnants, as well as some returning black and gold wrestlers that were fired.
Now, where'd you find that, if you don't mind asking?
All over Twitter, the past hour. Every freaking wrestling journalist that I follow was saying the same thing at once. I'm like, okay, either they just announced it, and I think this came out earlier because I was on Twitch about like at 4, and when my viewers came in, they're like, they're merging the brands, and I didn't see anything yet, and now looks like it's the confirmation. So after the All Out Weekend, whatever pay-per-view they decide to do for NXT, we're gonna have a series finale, and then I hope they don't call it NXT 3.0, but
yeah,
we're getting a mix of NXT, current NXT UK, and apparently some superstars that were fired. What does that mean? Don't know, but that's
right.
So yeah.
Now, we did talk about a possible merger between NXT and NXT UK.
Mm-hmm.
We did talk about that on Tuesday's talk. Yesterday. I mean, I didn't really. That was just kind of me shooting up my own ass, seeing if that could actually stick. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it was a possibility, but the fact that it actually could be a thing, I'm fine with that because I know I don't get to watch NXT UK, and it's not because I just don't want to watch it. It's because it's on at 2:00 in the afternoon, and that's when I work. But
yeah,
but like not anybody really gets to see it. So we don't get to see guys like Tyler Bate. We don't get to see a tag team like Gallus. We don't get to see a lot of these great NXT UK stars because not a lot of people get a chance to watch it. But if they merge with NXT 2.0, not only can we see some great matches, but that's a deeper roster. And now that if people get called up to the main roster, it's not going to be like, oh my God, there's like no stars on NXT anymore.
Pretty much.
So I like it. I do. I agree with you on the fact that they should not call it NXT 3.0. I think that's stupid. I thought 2.0 was stupid, but that's besides the point.
That's the point. That's the whole point.
No. Yeah. But the fact that there's also the fact that there could possibly be bringing back some NXT superstars that were fired. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out, and trust me, there were a lot of people that got fired from NXT because of budget cuts for whatever reason. I'm trying to figure out some people. The one person that I can think of is Nash Carter.
You could do that.
Because obviously with Wesley, I think that's the other one. Yeah. For obvious reasons with that tag team. Now, people are salty and they're going to not like him being back on TV if he does actually rejoin NXT. But if it happens, it happens.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know anybody else though. I'm trying to think back, and I don't know anybody else.
I have no idea.
It's just interesting. But if they do make this transition again, what a way to go out, bro. Corbin, Bronson Reed easily.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Easily. When Bronson Reed got fired, I was hurt. Imagine what Triple H was. Triple H put a lot of stock in that man.
Sheesh.
Bronson Reed would totally come back. Holy shit.
I hope so.
Well, like I was saying, what a way to go out, because apparently NXT scored a huge viewership rating with Heat Wave. Or at least huge in, in their standards, because last week's NXT episode had 597,000 viewers with a 0.13 rating. But this week's has 723,000 with a 0.18. Obviously, the 0.18 and 0.13 doesn't really make a total difference, but you had over 700,000 viewers on possibly the final NXT 2.0 episode. What a way to go out.
Yeah.
I have to watch that back, though, because I didn't get to see it because I was here with the dumpster, Drozy. But I have to watch that, because apparently that was like one of the best ever NXT 2.0 episodes.
It was great.
Like I said, ever.
It was really, really, really great show.
So I'll definitely go check that out, possibly tomorrow, because we don't have a recording. But yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting type of way that we can go about this. Yeah, I like it. Just gotta see where it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Now that's it. Unless I have anything else that I missed here. I'm gonna be looking everywhere now just to see if I missed anything. Well, it looks like Deonna Purrazzo is looking to stay with Impact, so that's good for her, I guess. It says Deonna Purrazzo is entering new contract negotiations with Impact, which is cool. I love Deonna. I do kind of wish she was a part of a bigger stage, but Impact's cool for her, and she's been doing great things over there, so I'm fine with that. It's just that, man, I just miss Deonna Purrazzo like on a big stage. And then anything AEW other than Kenny Omega? No, but we do have some matches booked for All Out already. If you guys need that real quick, just before we go. It looks like the match between Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm is confirmed for the Women's World Championship. So there you go. Off. We could be seeing Toni Storm as the next AEW champion.
Interesting.
So there you go. Obviously, the Trios Tag Team Championship Tournament Finals is happening on that night. We have FTR and Wardlow taking on Satnam Singh, Jay Lethal, and Sanjay Dutt. Okay.
Oh, God.
Okay. All right. Sadly, no TNT title match at All Out, but maybe they turn it. Well, wait. I don't know. Would they ever try to dare to do a winner take all match?
Oh, gosh.
I put it out there in the universe, and Tony watches this shit, so he's probably thinking about that right now.
That's a great idea.
Imagine Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt as all those tag team champions because FTR has like all those tag titles.
That would be something. That would be something.
Because the real feud here is Wardlow and Jay Lethal.
Yeah.
For the TNT title, so imagine. But yeah, it's FTR and Wardlow versus Satnam, Jay, and Sanjay. And then obviously we have a tease of Christian versus Jungle Boy, but that's totally not confirmed yet, but that'll most likely be confirmed in the next few weeks. But yeah, those are just some of the matches that are going to be happening. I mean, obviously, as far as I was aware of, we were supposed to have the, World Championship unification at All Out, but now it's happening next week, so now we're going to have to figure that out. TBS Championship, we don't know what's happening with Jade. We didn't even see Jade tonight.
Pissed me off.
Yeah, that was kind of sad. All Atlantic Championship, I don't think that's going to be on the line if the House of Black. Well, wait, no, not the House of Black. If the House of Black are going to be in the finals, then hopefully the All Atlantic title could be on the line. I don't know, but it's going to be a crazy All Out, and we're going to be seeing that live in Chicago, Illinois, even though Chicago gets everything. Everything.
Damn it.
I want something. I mean, I get to go to Grand Slam, but that's in New York. I have to drive. I have to drive an hour and a half. But an hour and a half is not even bad.
Chicago and Florida. Damn.
God damn it. But yeah, that's it, guys. For real this time. Have a good rest of the night. Stay safe. God bless. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell for all notifications. That way you never miss when we go live. Go check out anything you may have missed on the channel. Check out the interview with Duke the Dumpster Josie live on twitch.tv/Panda Wrestling Company. And we will talk to you guys very, very soon. Possibly Friday. Yeah, most likely Friday.
Yeah.
For the Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Rampage post-show review. There's nothing this weekend as far as I'm aware of.
Don't think so.
I have to ask for weekends now because all of these promotions. I have to ask. No, because Clash to Castle is September 5th, I believe. 3rd. And then obviously All Out is before that, like the day before that. So we're having a weekend of All Out and Clash to Castle. So we're going to be freaking tired that weekend, of course.
Can't wait.
Yeah, so it's going to be September 3rd as Clash to Castle, and then Sunday, September 4th for All Out. So
all right,
there we go. We got 2 more weeks until All Out, and 3 more shows for Clash to Castle. So we'll see where Triple H goes from there.
Excited.
We'll see where that goes, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care. God bless. We will talk to you on Friday. Peace.